Well, hello and welcome to another Picks podcast over here at Her Little Sons. I'm your host, Ryan Ritter. You can call me ND Tex. As always, you can join us live over here on twitch.tv/Her Little Sons. You can also find us in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, wherever you happen to find your podcasts at. Come join us in Discord. That is our live chat channel, herlittlesons.com/Discord. And of course, you can always find us at our home in the internet, herlittlesons.com. With all that being said, I bring in Eddie. Man, Eddie, I don't know how you feel right now.
Start, 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Are you hearing whistles in your sleep, Eddie?
Jesus Christ. There were so many false starts, Ryan.
I thought the sim was bad. I thought the sim was bad for false starts. I had no idea.
Oh, I was weirdly the happiest I've ever been after a loss walking out of Sanford Stadium. And the further away from the game we get, the angrier I am about the fucking stupidity. So many false starts. Inexplicable flea flicker. Chris Fink losing his hands. We were there.
We were. We seem to be telling this story over and over again. Like I said, it felt like the 2017 game quite a bit, and even down to the feelings afterwards. I don't know if I've gotten quite as angry as you, though, as time has gone on. I've just tried to put it behind me and attempt to look forward to Virginia as best I can.
Oh, look at you being healthy with your life and not emotionally crippled by the actions of 18 to 21-year-olds. Fucking nerd.
Well, I get emotionally crippled at the time, but I mean, let's not lie. I was as fired up as I could be afterwards on the pod, but No,
y'all had a good breakdown, and I will say, honestly, as every single time I've asked how a game trip went, it seems like my answer is it was a fantastic trip until kickoff. But it was a hell of an effort. I really do think that the reason I wasn't just distraught and was actually very happy with how the team played is because y'all heard it on the pod. I thought 2 scores was best case scenario.
Right.
I went in expecting to get smoked. I was extremely pleased with the run defense. They really, I think the DeAndre Swift's largest run was 16, 17.
Yeah, we held them to only 0 explosive plays, nothing over 30 yards. So that was a positive.
And as we expected, our rushing game still sucks a lot, and that's what happens when you're missing your top 3 guys. So, there are things to be happy about. We've got a lot of weapons coming back. Cole Kmet came back, an unstoppable force, stealing touchdowns from wide open receivers on his own team. He's ready to go. We're back to tight end U. Let's do the damn thing. But
yeah, and
sorry, it's been a bad week. I'm still angry about the game. I just needed this little catharsis off the top.
That's got to be a real need of the old emotional nutsack.
It always is, Pam.
All right. Well, it was rough for me in Gambler land. Not as rough for me in our pick'em. I gained another game on you.
Let's talk about shitty things that happen with regard to that. I can't buy the hook here. Clemson scores 42, a victory by 42 on a spread of 41.5. Oklahoma State does everything I said they were going to do. They lose by 6. I bet the line at 7. It was great. What did we pick it on? 5.5. Picking Wednesdays is bullshit, and I hate it.
Well, I went above 500 for the first time all season, 7-6. Eddie goes 6-7, so I catch up one more game. I am now 1 game behind. 21-23, my record so far. Eddie 22-32, so still has the 1 game lead. But man, yeah, picking Wednesday is hard. Picking Wednesday nights is hard. Wazoo did me no favors. UCF did me no favors, and those are the ones I was the most sure about. That went. It was ugly. It was absolutely ugly on Saturday. But hey, Sunday happened. I managed to pull it back. We survived. We lived to see another week. And we have a whole other slate of picks to get through right now. So, Eddie, do you have any other rants left? Or are you ready to try to move on? Are you ready to begin the healing process?
I mean, I think we both know that there's going to be more rants at some point. It's just at what point do I get triggered like the emotionally volatile child that I am? Let's go, baby.
All right, we're going to bring up that beautiful board, and we are going to start with another Friday night game here. Arizona State, we're going to hermit, facing number 15 California on the road. And California favored in this one by 4.5 points. The total in this one is 41. Oh, that's an ugly, ugly total. Who do you got, Eddie?
Here's the thing. We already know what's going to happen. Cal is the last undefeated Pac-12 team left, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
But it's a Friday night, which means they're going to lose. This is what always happens. We've already seen it 3 times this year. It's definitely going to happen. But you know what?
What?
We fade Herm in this household. Fuck Herm Edwards. He's going to try and have another 10-6 game. I don't give a shit. Cal is good. Fuck Herm. Give me the Bears.
All right.
The Bears.
I'm going to fade Herm as well. I can't trust him right now. Right now, when his claim to fame is basically out-Spartying Sparty and letting Sparty shoot themselves in the foot, and there ain't nothing we can do beyond that. California being at home is what pushes it over the top for me. This total is absolutely ugly as well, which makes me feel like Arizona State is going to score barely anything, much like that Sparty game. And Cal has actually got a pretty decent defense together. I think their offense is just good enough to take out Sparky there. Let's go ahead and give me Cal as well. Next up, we move to Saturday. And we are going to go with a game that is always typically weird. It always goes to overtime. And that is a game in Jerry World where Texas A&M somehow still ranked number 23 after Auburn pants them. They are a 23-point favorite against Arkansas. Total in this one, 57 in the hook. Well, logic would tell me that this is a mismatch, that I should go ahead and believe that the Aggies can cover here. But this game is always weird. This game always ends up in overtime. Something stupid always happens. And man, did the Aggies get shown that they have quite a few problems of their own right now. I don't trust them. This game being weird, I'm going to keep that history going. Give me the points. I'll take a little old pig suey here. Who do you got, Eddie?
If you just took the names off of these teams, I'd take the Aggies in a heartbeat. I know their record doesn't show it, but there's a reason they're still ranked. This is still a very talented team. They've got the hardest schedule in the country. I mean, they've got to go through just a absolute bloodbath. And like you said, this game, always close. Here's the thing. Arkansas is in absolute shambles. I mean, they're coming off a loss to San Jose State.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hogville is in just a blaze. Like you said, this is in Jerry World. Jerry Jones, known Hog supporter.
It's true.
I think Chad Morris knows that if he doesn't put up a good fight in this game, not only is he going to get fired, he's going to get juiced into a smoothie for Jerry Jones's electrolyte fuel for the next week. On paper, this should be a bloodbath. Arkansas's got to do something. I think Chad Morris is playing not just for his career, but possibly his life this week. If he doesn't do something with this team, they're completely screwed. Give me the Hogs in a mystery cover.
To prevent the woo pig smoothie.
That's very good.
All right, well, next up, a team that somehow is ranked above Texas A&M, and that's Michigan, after they just got demolished by Wisconsin. They are facing Rutgers. Michigan is at home. They are favored by 27.5 points with a total of 48.5. Who do you got, Eddie?
Look, Rutgers is bad. Rutgers is very, very bad. How the hell are you going to lay 4 touchdowns with Michigan? Michigan's not good. I feel like you and I have been preaching this from the goddamn mountaintops for a month now, and nobody's listening. And finally, Wisconsin goes and beats the hell out of them. People are like, huh, maybe Michigan's not going to be a playoff team. That's weird.
Weird.
I think we've had this from the start. I also guarantee you that this fucking 27.5 point spread means Michigan's winning by 28. I'm going to throw something at my TV on Saturday. But I don't give a shit. There's no way I'm laying that many points with Michigan. Give me the State University of New Jersey, the mighty Rutgers Knights.
I'm on Rutgers as well. Here's
Shit.
Well, but here's the thing about Michigan, Eddie, is that
Fuck Michigan also. I don't know if I explicitly said that, but just to be clear.
well, yes, to be clear, fuck Michigan, but to also be clear, Michigan's O-line is garbage. Just straight hot dumpster fire garbage. This offense has not been able to move the ball since they played Army. They barely moved it against Middle Tennessee. They are fumbling, it seems, every other possession. They are just... can you tell me who the starting quarterback's going to be? Because I can't anymore. It may not
Someone
be Shea
bad.
Patterson.
Someone bad.
Yeah, this offense is not good. This defense doesn't look that much better. Look, Michigan's probably going to win this game on an account of, one, they're at home. Two, Rutgers is really, really, really bad. But no, yeah, like you said, 4 touchdowns. That's way too much that I can trust Michigan with. They had a similar big spread against Army. I think Rutgers going to put up a better fight against Army. So go ahead and give me Rutgers in this one. Next up, we're going to go from Big Ten sadness to good old classic Big 12 potential shootout. And that is Texas Tech going on the road to Norman to face Oklahoma with a 70 in the hook point total. Oklahoma favored by 27 points. And I tell you what, normally I would try to take the points here. I would be very convinced. I actually don't think this is going to be a shootout despite what the total says. I think the majority of this is going to come from Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts is putting on a clinic right now in that offense. So go ahead and I'll keep riding the Sooners in this one. Texas Tech just has not looked very good thus far this season. So I fear they will not keep this one close, and it could be a laugher by the second half. Who do you got, Eddie?
We're sticking together once again to our own detriment, clearly. Oklahoma's been absolute world beaters this year, and this ain't your daddy's Texas Tech. I mean, they only put up 14 against Arizona.
Not good.
This is of course the Arizona that you will recall gave up 45 to the mighty Bows of Hawaii. Cliff Kingsbury ain't walking through that door. Graham Harrell ain't walking through that door. Hell, Sonny Cumbie ain't walking through that door. Tech don't have the points. Tech don't have the points like they used to, and OU's just being mean to folks right now. There's going to be a lot of points in this game, but not too many are coming for the Red Raiders. Give me the Sooners.
I might actually be leaning under in this one. As much as I love taking Big 12 overs, I just don't know if Tech's going to put up enough points. I really
Problem
don't.
is you only need about 28 from Tech to cover it because OU's going to be good for about 60.
That might be too many for Tech because OU actually has a functional defense this season. So,
Yeah, for the first half at least.
let's go back to Big Ten land. I don't know if we need to.
Do we have to?
Well, at least for this one pick, only because there's a lot of more of a curiosity picks. There's a lot of big lines, a lot of let's see what happens, and a lot of can Northwestern actually score points against Wisconsin, who is hosting the mighty, mighty Wildcats with a 24 in the hook point total, and Northwestern and Wisconsin are having a total of 46.5. Who do you have in this little disaster, Eddie?
Jonathan Taylor is going to beat that ass. Coach Fitch, you dumb fucking dweeb. Call me at #number, you corny ass motherfucker. Northwestern is horrible. Wisco by 40.
So would you take the under in this one still, knowing Wisco could get 40?
No, dude, Wisco's going to cover this on their own. I mean, they've been, like we said last week, they've been beating the shit out of teams all year long. And we saw it last week. Yeah, they gave up 14 in garbage time. That 35-0, they pulled up real quick. This is going to be bloody because Michigan has somewhat of a functional defense. Northwestern's just bad, man.
Yeah, they gave up way too many points against Sparty. That was an under I was very confident about, and that went out the window. So if Sparty can score on you, damn sure believe one of the best rushing offenses in the nation is going to be able to stomp all over you. And they haven't shown much on the offensive side of the ball either. I do not trust Northwestern at all. I'm actually going to see if I could take a team under on them, see what that's actually looking at.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that has to be juicy, especially in the first half. But yeah, Wisco in a rout in this one. All right, next up, we got another big spread, and we're heading over to the SEC, where Alabama is hosting Ole Miss as a 38-point favorite. Total on this one is 61. And as bad as Ole Miss has been playing, as much as Alabama has been looking good, Alabama, whatever Future Tech Vegas has updated their software to Alabama, because it wasn't that long ago that Alabama was beating every last spread that Vegas put up. And now it's like they get close. They get within 2 points. They get within 3 points. And they just don't cover. So I'm going to keep that up right now. I'm going to take Ole Miss and the points. It's going to be a comfortable win for Bama again. But again, they are not going to cover. Eddie, who do you have?
It depends. Is Katy Perry going to be on campus?
Not that I'm aware of.
Roll Tide. I understand your concern. Bama is 2-2 against the number this year, but let's break that down. One of those was a 55-point spread. They won by 52. The other was a 25-point spread. They won by 24. They've been close on a couple of those. They covered a 39er last week. They're a hell of a lot better than Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss got beat by Cal, only beat Arkansas by 14, which means against a real team you lose by, 38. So I'm not particularly impressed with Ole Miss. This is not the, Laquan treadmill type offense that could put up a lot of points. And Bama's still murdery, so I'm going to take the Tide.
All right, well, let's go with another potential murder line here where Clemson, number one Clemson, is on the road as a 26.5-point favorite. The total in this one against North Carolina is 60. Who do you have in this? I think this might be the last of our big lines here, Eddie.
Half goddamn point. I hate Dabo so much. I just... I'm going to take Clemson because, look, Carolina's coming off a loss to Appy State. There's no reason to be nice to a conference opponent. I don't give a shit if Mac Brown's old and likes to dance. Carolina does not have the athletes to keep up with Clemson. I expect another murder here. And if I swear, if they win by 26, I'm going to come to Dallas and I'm going to fight you.
Well, what do I have to do with it? I'm not making these lines.
Oh, but you're putting them up, sir.
I'm just doing what the Action Network tells me to do, sir. I'm on Clemson, too. They have been covering the big numbers. Them and one other team on our list have been covering big numbers pretty consistently. And yeah, like you said, North Carolina coming off a rough loss against Appy State. And let's be honest about North Carolina's season, the way it started. A little bit of a charmed life for Mac Brown the first couple games of the season. They're not going to have any kind of charmed life. Normally, I would love taking a home dog by this many points. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. It's just not.
Would you say that they're leading a semi-charmed kind of life?
Oh, Eddie.
Maybe?
No, I will not say that. And in fact, just because you say that means we're going to go ahead and take our break for podcast business right now.
Okay. Please be a Third Eye Blind commercial.
It's not. I
Damn
can guarantee it's not. It'll be the usual anchor stuff. But yes, this is where we're going to interject things. And of course, those of you, you know the drill. If you are hanging around in the chat and whatnot, remember you could do the old cheer thing, interject your text-to-speech right into the show. And of course, your subs help us as well. I believe the Subway September is still going on, should be ending soon, but get those half-off subscriptions while you still can. And with that, we're going to get right back into it as long as Eddie doesn't have any other god awful puns.
I make no promises.
All right, well, now we're going to get into an actual, real top 25 matchup, Eddie, coming out of the gate here in the second half. That is number 21, Southern Cal. Look at them. They're ranked after upsetting Utah and fucking us over on that pick. They will be going on the road to face Washington, who is a 10.5 point favorite. The total in this one just a shade under 60 at 59 in the hook. And I cannot for the life of me figure out what the hell to think of Southern Cal when it comes to the spread at all. So here's the only thing I am able to glean right now is that when they go on the road, disaster seems to strike, no matter who's at quarterback. So Southern Cal will be on the road in this game. Washington actually looking pretty good. Their offense, after looking like garbage in that weather delay Cal disaster, has looked much, much, much better. I feel like this line's a little bit tilted more towards SC after they put up a little upset against Utah. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Huskies in this one. FSC. Who do you got, Eddie?
I've got a loss by half a point when Washington wins by 10 because of the goddamn hook once again. Here's the deal with SC. It ain't Friday. They've already gotten their 3 quarters of goodness out of, I don't even know what the hell their 4th string QB is, but he'll be trash this week because that's what they've done. Who knows if Klingon Sclurvy is coming back ever again? I don't know. I'm very happy that Southern Cal just lost their number 1 dual threat QB commit to Bama because
such a shame.
SC.
Such a shame.
Yeah,
hate to see it.
Really, no, I love to see it. It just breaks your heart. Washington is much better. Again, I'm not holding that bizarre 4 a.m. Cal game against them. I think UW is a very good team. I hate this hook. I hate it with all of my existence. I'm going to buy the shit out of it. And if it screws me, I'm going to cry. But give me them Huskies. Far.
All right. And here we come to what has to be the weirdest ass total of the entire week.
Man, what happened?
Wake Forest and Boston College, dare I say, this is going to be a shootout? 71 point total. What has happened?
Man, go tell 2 years ago us this and watch. I mean, didn't they have a game that ended 3-0?
They did.
Where the OU was like 40?
Good old Robbie Callan of the Punkcast was asking what happened to his beautiful 3-0 boys.
Poor Robbie, man. This has to just hurt him. This has got to cut deep.
Well, I told him, it's like, hey, not only is this a principle, but you got to take the under out of spite. Like, you're damn right I do. So,
well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Robbie has ever seen a total in the 70s that he hasn't smashed the under no matter what.
Absolutely, especially with these two teams. But Wake Forest favored by 6.5 at this one. Again, an insane point total. Eddie, who do you have?
Boston College is trash. You beating Rutgers by less than half of what you lost to Kansas by does not buy you back into good graces. I'll take Wake Forest here. Their offense has been solid.
Yep.
BC's got a lot of work to do before they gain any trust back.
Yeah, so not only am I on the under here because not necessarily that I don't trust that the offenses can't put up points. I just trust an offense that couldn't put up points against Kansas a whole hell of a lot less. So I got Wake Forest here to cover. I think they can easily win this by a touchdown. I just do not believe we live in a world where I say I'm going to take the points in the shootout, so I'm going to take Boston College. This doesn't
No, you got to take a shower after that.
I know that just everything is wrong. Up is down, down is up. Our pets' heads are falling off because there's a Wake Forest PC total over the 70s. What the? I had to double take on this. I couldn't believe this line.
Yeah, man, it's weird.
Which means they're going to score like 90 fucking points. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, BC's going to win 64-38.
Just
I've been trying to keep track. Just humor me for a second. Do we really only have one different pick so far?
We only have one different pick so far, and
Fuck
that is
me.
in the Bama game. Well, let's see.
Parlay them, tease them, roll them up, round robin. We're trying to make you rich here. Fade the shit out of us, kids.
Well,
Sorry, continue.
Well, let's see if things start changing, because we had a lot of big spreads with heavy favorites, but now we're going to get into some weirdness, and let's see if how we feel about number 7 Auburn hosting Mississippi State, whom just lost to Kansas State. Did not see that one coming. This 10.5 point favorite Auburn is 47 is the total, and as much as I really really fear it. After that A&M game, I don't know if I'm fully bought in on Bo Nix being, really great, but I'm bought in enough on him being functional enough to lead Auburn's offense. There is so much speed that they have. He's not fucking it up. And if he can go into College Station and put together a solid game, certainly he can cover 11 at home against a Mississippi State team that is doing, I have no freaking clue right now. The bottom of the SEC right now is such a damn mystery to me. I don't know what to feel about it. Who do you got, Eddie?
Well, if for no other reason than just for a little bit of excitement, I'm going to take Mississippi State here.
There it is.
These teams have been living in the 20s for the most part. I feel like 10.5 is too much to lay. Nix has been playing pretty well, and yes, they're at home. But I honestly, I think that hook is actually going to be the difference here. 10 sounds just about right. And I still don't know if I trust Bo. He's done enough dumb freshman shit to where he's still a dumb freshman. So I think he's liable for some inexplicable turnovers. And that total at 47 is kind of where my head's at. These teams have been living in the high 20s. I don't think you're going to get enough coverage to get 10.5. So I'll take the points.
Alrighty. Well, just to update you, I don't know if you're paying attention to the chat or not, Eddie, but some gentleman named Judson in here is calling this sham a Trav schmockery because we can't see your beautiful face. I think he's going to rescind his 5-star review, sir.
Well, first off, how dare you disrespect a Travis Shamockery, a phenomenal ad from our childhood. And second, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, you ain't paying me for my pretty face. You want to get on my premium Snapchat, onlyfans.com. Like, y'all want the good shit. I can get that to you. But nah, man, you can't afford this face. How dare you, sir?
So you led right into where I was hoping you said, having firsthand knowledge of the subject matter, he believes that Tim Duncan artwork would be much more expensive. Yet we have it on display.
Not when you snipe it from a dumb YouTube video. Actually, it's a great YouTube video. Spurs Special Forces. Check it out if you've never seen it. Fantastic.
That's going to be great when we finally get big enough to get DCMA'd, and it'll be for that.
I would feel very proud of that.
I know you would. I absolutely know you would. Milfy's looking up your OnlyFans account, which you go for it, Milfy.
like he wasn't already subscribed.
All right, let's get this train back on the rails to send it back off the rails again. Because, oh my, how far have you fallen, Stanford, to where you're only favored by 4 points on the road against Oregon State. Total in this one's 58. I put this one in for just pure, I don't know. This is morbid curiosity, and something might be personally wrong with me by putting this game on the list. But anyways, we're going to pick it. Who do you got, Eddie?
Well, since we're sticking with this being a fan podcast of a Catholic university, the Beavers are going to deflate that wood, baby. Stanford's trash. I'm going to fade them till I got a reason not to. Give me Oregon State.
Oh, God. The Beavers are so bad. They're really bad. But Stanford, I think you're right, Eddie. They might be just even more trash. And not to mention, on the road right now, I ain't going to trust them. Not at all. Even if this was at home, I even don't know if I would trust them. They look so bad right now. Both of their lines look like absolute hot garbage. Their offense looks just absolutely atrocious. Man, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Oregon State, I might even look at money line on this one just because.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, Stanford is so out of sorts, and right now the -4 just screams of, well, Vegas is expecting people to bet Stanford because they're playing Oregon State, and it's just too tempting. So I'm going to head in the opposite direction there.
Ryan's throwing money on Beavers Saturday night. Woo! What's Mrs. Tex going to think? Let's go.
Oh, God. All right, well, moving on.
Euphemisms.
As awkwardly as possible now. UCF going to try to recover from being blown up by the Pitt superweapon against the hapless Huskies. Oh, God, poor UConn. UCF favored by 43 points. Total is 64. Do the math, folks. That doesn't mean it means UConn's going to score very little here. And normally, I would say, man, after, rough game like that, you're going to have a little bit of a letdown. You're going to be licking your wounds. But UConn, they would be better served playing FCS football right now. They're probably one of the worst teams in college football right now, folks. So 43 seems like a bunch. It's over 42, which I don't like, but I could see them winning this by 45. So what the hell? We're going to go with it. Who do you got, Eddie?
Spite picks rarely work out well for me. And I was ready to declare UCF dead to me forever after the way that they screwed that pick game.
I don't blame you.
There are two things. One, I've lost too many spite picks this year, so I don't want to do that again. And two, UCF, unlike some people, at least had the decency to cover the second half spread.
They did.
And allow me to undo the damage for the game.
That did help a lot.
Also worth considering, UConn lost by 35 to fucking Indiana. I forget 1AA, like go down to D3, man. Y'all are just hilariously bad. I'm terrified of trusting UCF, but I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. And if they don't cover here, oh boy, they are dead to me forever.
I wouldn't blame you at all. I think they'd be dead to Shane as well. We'd have to see how he'd take that. All right, let's see. Now we got a team who we referenced earlier has been good about covering some big numbers. This one not nearly as big as some that they've had before. Only 17 points as Ohio State have, going on the road to face Nebraska. Total in this one is 67. Who do you got, Eddie?
Well, while we have avoided Scott Lost Day more than we did last year, Nebraska's only 1-3 against the number. And meanwhile, Ohio State, much like Oklahoma, has just been beating the absolute piss out of people. Until I see a reason not to pick them, I'm going to take Ohio State.
Right there with you. If there's one team that's been murdering the number like crazy, it has been Ohio State. I mean, really, they had the one hiccup against FAU, and ever since then, it's like, okay, kill everybody now. I mean, it seems like they flipped that kind of murder switch. It's been, just absolute artwork on the field, how they've been dismantling people. And I'm wondering how this isn't in the 20s, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure where this, maybe because Nebraska's at home, but I don't see them being able to hold a candle to Ohio State. So, yeah, give me the Buckeyes in this one. Now we're going to get a little Pac-12 After Dark action. Utah, trying to recover from their loss to SC, comes back home as a 6-point favorite against Washington State, who, Eddie, is absolutely dead to me right now after I don't know how you fuck up so badly against UCLA. I don't know. I should have been in bed after that Georgia game. I should have been, close out the podcast, go to bed. Nope. Have to stay up to watch Mike Leach fuck up an easy lead, an easy win, and somehow UCLA come all the way back, ruining a double unit play, ruining the night as if it wasn't ruined enough already. Fuck it, give me the Utes. They're going to bounce back at home. Who do you got, Eddie?
That was a very expensive end of the night. We had a very long walk back from the stadium to our Airbnb, and I wasn't sure how much of that was fever-induced dream and how much of that was actual real football. But here's the thing, Ryan, and I don't think we've had this happen yet this year. This line fucking stinks. And Utah against USC, they just gave up bomb after bomb after bomb. Like, that was all that fourth string Nagu did against Utah. He just chucked it up and was like, "Hey, good receivers, go get it."
It's true.
Meanwhile, Wazoo's got a dude who just threw for 9 fucking touchdowns in a single game, which is hard to do when you put the NCAA game on freshmen. Like, this was insane. I'm very concerned about Utah's secondary on bombs, and that's all Wazoo wants to do. And this line's only 6? Nah, something ain't right. Give me Wazoo.
Well, I tell you what's not right: being able to score 9 touchdowns and then still fucking losing.
God, I haven't listened to the solid verbal yet, but did they do a like 10-minute in memoriam in a losing effort bit?
They didn't do that bit, but they did consider retiring in a losing effort because of this game. Highly consider it.
I don't know how you could top it after this one. Goodness.
Throwing 10 touchdowns and still losing to Utah? It could happen. It could happen. Oh, God. All right, well, we got one more game to pick. It is ours. Somehow, it's kind of crazy how everything works out. This is actually the marquee matchup if you're just looking at rankings right now. And that's number 18, Virginia, coming on the road to number 10, Notre Dame. Total in this game is 48 and the hook. Notre Dame favored by 12 and the hook. Who do you got in this one, Eddie?
I said before the year, if you gave me more than a touchdown, I was taking Virginia in the points, no questions asked. I'm still taking Virginia in the points, no questions asked. I still don't trust Ian Book. He didn't do anything Saturday to make me feel better. Our running game still absolutely sucks. Jafar's not back yet. We're not getting any real reinforcements yet. I feel a lot better about the passing game with the addition of Cole Kmet. Obviously, he was incredible against Georgia, even taking touchdowns away from his own receivers. I hope that was just a bad day by Chris Fink. I hope that was just a bad day with all the false starts and shit. At some point, you would think that Brian Kelly would know how to teach his players to be ready for a loud stadium on the road. Maybe. That'd be cool. But luckily, it's Notre Dame Stadium, so you don't have to worry about noise ever. It's too many points. Virginia, strong defensive team. They can – I still don't trust our defense enough. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. The under is very tempting to me in this one. But 12.5, I don't like it. I'm going to take the Cavs here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Cavs here as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and here's why. Look, Virginia's not exactly a world beater, but they're not bad. And giving almost 2 touchdowns up to a team that is more than functional is a bit much. This stinks of an overreaction to Notre Dame's performance against a really good Georgia team, but I could see Notre Dame, if this line was closer to 10, maybe 9 or 10, I'd consider taking the Irish here. But I really see like this game can be comfortable, a Notre Dame comfortable victory, and hang around that 10 number. And really that's kind of where I see this game. Virginia has shown, look, they haven't had very impressive wins. I know they didn't look great against Old Dominion. That I'm chalking that up to a look-ahead week. They stormed back against Florida State, which I know was kind of this season, but still they were able to put that back up. They were able to, they're going to be a problem. And this is a huge game for them. And to come back off of a potential body blow game where everybody was saying it was the most physical game we've ever been in. Not that I think the Irish are going to come out rusty or they're going to be looking past Virginia, because there is a number next to their name. Everybody's been telling them it's a trap game, but just because the trap's coming doesn't mean it still doesn't get sprung on you a little bit. Not necessarily that it's this gigantic trap thing, but this line feels like it's disrespecting Virginia a little bit too much for my comfort. Notre Dame wins. I don't think we're pulling our hair out. Best case scenario, it's a backdoor cover type thing. Virginia gets a jump touchdown at the end. I do not like this number whatsoever. So I know I rarely pick against Notre Dame, but this reeks of just being disappointed if you think the Irish are going to cover. I'd love to be wrong, really, really would. And I hope they just come out and curb stomp them. That'd be great. I may not be touching this game at all because I don't have a great feel on it, because I don't know what to think of how they're going to come out after a very emotional, rough loss against Georgia and then really have to come back and and really take on a team that I think's been eyeing you since the beginning of the season. Did I render you speechless, Eddie?
Oh no, I thought you were still going. I was concerned that I lost you all of a sudden. I pretty much agree with everything you've got there. It's kind of hard to go against it. I again, I hope that you brought up the
Oh,
idea of, hey, maybe we come out and just beat the hell out of them. Maybe we come out angry and want to just get a little revenge for last week, get that bad taste out of our mouth. But the other reason people were calling this a trap game is not because of some shenanigans. It's because it's a really good physical team after playing a great physical team.
yep.
That's a tough follow up to have. And I think 12 and a half is too much. The fact that this has actually moved up, opened at 11 and a half and has moved to 12 and a half already, kind of blows my mind.
It is kind of crazy that Notre Dame has seen the line go in the opposite direction right now. It doesn't feel right. And I haven't taken a look at where the tickets and the money are in this one yet, especially because it's a Wednesday, but it feels off. And thank you for the cheer, by the way, Judson. Much appreciated. But yeah,
Hey, my man.
it's like I said, around 9 or 10. I consider it because that's where I feel the game's eventually going to be at. Should Notre Dame play a solid game, but we've seen other things happen with Notre Dame and coming off some letdown weekends and things get very hair pulley, Pitt type games, Purdue type games. Not that I think Virginia's in that same tier, but like you said, they're a physical team. Bronco Mendenhall's a hell of a coach. He's done some. Again, this is Virginia that he has got ranked. Let's just consider that for a second. So I know the ACC is kind of hot garbage this season, but man, it's just way, way, way too many points. I don't trust it. Don't trust it at all. But hey, look, folks, we agreed a lot, and we both agreed that Notre Dame wasn't going to cover. So, hold on a second. Here we go.
Turns out you just have to watch a dumb Amazon Prime ad for 30s and can get an endless supply of these.
Yes, you can watch ads and get the bits. So thank you very much for throwing those our way. I like how the text to speech stopped halfway through the sentence there.
The internet is so stupid.
It is, and I love it.
Why is any of this a thing? The other factor is you still have the ghost of the poor kid that Will Fuller murdered a couple of years ago haunting this game. So who knows what kind of shenanigans he's going to have. I do want to put one thing out there, which I talked a lot of shit leading into the season. I thought that special teams were going to be our downfall. I want to give a little credit to the special teams, especially at Georgia. Bramblett did a hell of a job punting the ball. Dorr hasn't been the complete fuck up that he was last year when he got on the field. I'm very happy with that. Chase Claypool finally got his muff punt, fumble return.
Canadian footsteps coming.
Hey man, it's nice. I'm very pleased. We were all very excited when Bill Polian came back, primarily for recruiting. But he's done a hell of a job with the special teams.
That he has.
I hate that we are once again so aligned. Maybe we've just been doing this for too many years, and we've mind melded, which is bad because we both suck at this.
And we've been really bad this year.
Yeah, it's the problem is we take too seriously the put the ball in the water on the first hole mentality, but we spend the entire first month doing that. The good news is this is the end of September games this weekend. After this, we get into October and we can heat up a little bit. We'll get things figured out, kids. But we've given you a lovely money line parlay. Just fade us on, pick any of the ones that we've got simpatico. We got plenty for you. Last week sucked. We put up a good fight, but I don't know what's worse. losing another big game, or the stories being like, well, that sure was a great moral victory. Notre Dame showed that they belong on the field with the big boys. It's like when your little fucking cousin comes out to play football and he's 6 years younger than everybody and he makes a nice catch. Everyone's like, well, hey, maybe we'll let him play next time. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Then I see this bullshit today. Some corny ass Notre Dame fan took out this full page ad in the Athens paper. And look, hey, I had a great time in Athens. 98% of people were super nice. But god damn, you lose a huge game like that and go, thanks for the ass kicking and not being mean on the way out. Go fuck yourself, my guy. I'm so tired of this Mickey Mouse bullshit. It's time to win games. That's all that matters. I don't care if we tried hard. I'm tired of trying hard. I don't want moral victories. I don't want, well, maybe we'll get them next time. I don't want to have fun at the game and the trip. I just want to win, man. Can we win? Please? Please? Hell, Gambler, go Irish.
And that is going to do it for us, folks. On that super positive note, hope everybody had a great time here over on twitch.tv/HerLittlesons. Make sure you join us tomorrow for the NCAA Sim around 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. And of course, you can subscribe over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you happen to get your podcasts at. Join us at Discord, herlittlesons.com/Discord. Of course, you can always find us at herlittlesons.com. Until next time, y'all, go Irish, beat Cavs. Have a good one.